What's going on, guys? If you're watching this video, you either have a digital marketing company or SMMA and you're looking to grow your business, or you're looking to start an SMMA and digital marketing company. And if that's you, this video is for you, because I am going to be showing you all about how I got my first client. I landed my first client. I want to tell you guys the story about it, how we went about it, the mistakes we made, and what I learned from it. So let's jump in. If you guys don't know me, my name is Jeremy Funderburk. I own a company called Lifestyle CEO Fast. I'm the author of Never Work to 40, and I am the leader of the Never Work to 40 movement. And I teach people how to start and scale six-figure part-time digital marketing companies. And if that's something you're interested in, click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can get all the game and all the strategies absolutely for free. But story time. My first client. Guys, I remember when I was starting my agency, I was working for a gym, right? I was a general manager, general sales manager, and he told me that he needed help with the marketing. That's why he hired me. He wasn't my client, but they hired me as a general sales manager and asked me to help with that. So what did I do? Being the overachieving employee I took money that I didn't have out of my own pocket and I invested into an SMMA course. Now, I'm not going to say the course taught me everything I needed to know about marketing, but it did show me, man, this is a legitimate business model. So I actually went to the operations manager at the gym and told him what I was planning on doing. And he actually ended up telling me that he used to own a social media marketing agency. He just didn't know how to get any clients for it. I said, yo, let's partner and let's do this together. He said no. And then I asked him again, he said no. And after a few weeks of begging him, he eventually said yes, and he came on board. And that's when we started our first agency, the Elite Minds Marketing Agency. So I started that agency, and then I went out, I was like, I'm going to find some clients. We're going to make all this money. And I was happy because I was like, yo, if we get to $10,000 a month, like we can both be making $5,000 a month each working for ourselves. So I was excited, guys, because I was making kind of crap money at the gym. I had an incredible boss. Shout out to Zach Haney, the best VP I've ever had. But the job didn't pay that well. So, especially for the long hours that I put in the gym. So there was a bunch of businesses around the gym. And every day, while I had to go out and door knock for the gym to try to get new gym members, I would stop at each of the business, knock the doors, and pitch my marketing services. And I went to the first place as a restaurant, and you guys wouldn't believe it. I went there, I said, hey, I have a social media marketing company, and I was just curious if you guys were interested in me doing your social media for you. And it's like, it was that moment. And they looked at me and said, no. Huh? No. So I went to the next restaurant. No. Then I went to the next restaurant. No. And then I went to the hotel. No. And I came up with this new song that goes, no, 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 no. Because that's what everybody was telling me. Every single door I knocked, they told me no. It's probably because my pitch sucked. But here's the thing about me. Even when I was doing inside sales, I didn't have the skills starting off that my coworkers had. I didn't have the product knowledge they had either, but I always had a superior work ethic. So while everybody else would make 20 to 30 calls a day, I would make between 100 to 120 calls a day. And just because the sheer volume, even if I sucked, I'll at least get somebody to say yes, just because they needed it. Anybody could solve that person. And what I lacked in skill, I made up for in work ethic. So I was one to knock door to door to door to door to door. Mistake number one, I overlooked my power base. Let me put that. Overlook base. Now, what's the power base? Power base is people that you already know, people that know you, people that are in your circles. Realtors call it your sphere of influence. Now, I'm not saying this was like the end all be all, whatever, but there's actually another mistake that I should put here, but just from my efforts, that was the first mistake I discovered. And I'm putting this in the sequence that I discovered these mistakes. Because mistake number 2, or mistake number 3 actually, is going to be the first mistake. But mistake number 1 is I overlooked my power base, and I didn't realize that there was somebody at the gym who was a personal trainer that was starting her own nutrition company that needed marketing. Luckily, my business partner talked to her, and she became our first client. And that's how I got my first client, was just actually having that sphere of influence where we say, hey, let us take over your social media. Now, here's the thing. We charge her $300 a month just to do her social media posting, which was cool because it was our own business, our very first client, the very first money we ever made in the business, and it was $300. I loved it, especially because I was still working a job while doing it, so it was $300 extra. Well, here's the problem. I realized I was working all month on her social media for only $300. And I had a partner, so we had to split that money. Plus, we had business expenses, so money had to go to that. So once all was said and done, I only had $100 to work all month. So here's the second mistake that I realized. I learned I need to charge more. I had to charge more money. And I didn't learn it there. I started to learn it progressively, right? So, and after this next mistake, this helped with a lot of the stuff. But I charged that client $300, and I said, this is way too much work for this little bit of money. So then we got our next client, and we charged $500. And you know what? She paid. And we did all this work for $500. It wasn't no money. So now I'm like, all right, I'm stressed out. I can't manage all this work outside of my job while only making this little bit of money. Something's going to have to change. And then I realized I wouldn't have to work a job if I charged more. And then I got laid off, so I didn't have the job anyway. So it didn't even matter. But I was already going down that path. So now I start realizing, hey, I have to support myself anyway. I need to charge more. So then we got to the next client, and he was a realtor. And it's because I realized the next mistake I made was I didn't have a niche. So you gotta have a niche. The riches are in the niches. And I actually learned this when I got a coach. I could put that as another mistake that actually I'm going to, because this is key. So many people overlooked it. I didn't have a coach. Why would you try to start this and do this on your own if you don't know what you're doing? You're just going to lose a bunch of money. Now I lost a ton of money. One thing I didn't explain is I got a coach. I started my agency, and I only made about, I can't remember if I had the second client or not. It was less than $1,000 definitely that I made my first 6 months of having an agency. Month 6, I got a coach. That coach told me I need to get a niche. The riches were in the niches, so I chose real estate as a niche. So I got my niche, and then that niche was in real estate. I charged the realtor $997. And you know what? He paid it. I said, hold up, what? What? He paid it. And I was like, man, all right, well, if he's willing to pay that, what else could I get? So then we went and found another realtor. And I said, yeah, our price is $1,350. And he paid it. And then I found another realtor. I said, $1,750? And he paid it. This is getting good. And this is gonna blow your mind. Then we went to another realtor. Yeah, how much is the service? $6,000. And she paid it. Charge more. I was doing the same amount of work, but I was undervaluing my services. Because I didn't realize that I would do these ads for a realtor and that would help them close an extra 2 to 4 deals every single month. On average, they were making $5,000 per deal. So I was helping them make an extra $10,000 to $20,000 per month. And I was only charging $1,000 at first for that. $1,300, $1,700. It's a no-brainer to pay $6,000 if you're going to make $20,000 in return. There's people that invest in the stock market for a 3 to 5% return. You invest $1 million to make 50,000. Where I'm showing them how to invest 6,000 to make 20,000. Those type of returns are just unheard of, and they're common in the marketing industry. You can actually get way better returns than that, actually. But I realized I was charging less, and a lot of that was because I didn't have a coach to tell me better, and I didn't have a niche. So you gotta charge more, and the way you're able to do that is by getting a niche, because the niche then it puts you as a specialist. There's a difference between I run Facebook ads and I run Facebook ads for realtors. If I'm a realtor and I'm looking at 2 companies, one just says they run ads, the other one says they run ads specifically for realtors, I'm going to be more pulled to work with the one that runs the ads for the realtors, because that speaks directly to me. They might be able to get me results. They specialize in getting me results. I'm going with them. So that's one reason a niche is so powerful. It makes it more likely to choose to work with you. The other thing is, if you think about going to the doctor, you have your general doctor, you have a heart specialist. The general doctors work on everybody. The heart specialist only works with heart clients. Well, if you're having problems with your heart, would you rather go have the general doctor work with you or the heart specialist? Probably gonna send you to the heart specialist. Why? Because that's their specialty. Now, who do you trust more with your heart? The general doctor or the heart specialist? The heart specialist. Why? Because that's their specialty. Now, here's the key. Here's the key. Listen up. Who gets paid more? The general doctor or the heart specialist? The heart specialist, because they're a specialist. When you get a niche, you become a specialist. You specialize working with a specific type of client, which in return allows you to gain more trust with them, and you can charge even more money. So you have to get the niche. The riches are in the niches. And I didn't know that until I got a coach to teach me how to grow my business. And let me give you a 5-1. Fifth mistake I was making that, man, there's so many mistakes I made. But I didn't reinvest enough money. I should have been reinvesting into growing the business, and it would have grew a lot faster. It wouldn't have taken me as long to start making the money I was doing until I went from saying, I'm going to spend $10 a day on an ad to I was like, let me just try to spend $1,000 a week and see what happens. And I started realizing that every $240 I spent, I got a $6,000 client. So I can get multiple clients per week, every single week. And then those clients pay me again and again and again. But I wouldn't reinvest the money at first, and it took me way too long to learn that lesson, to realize that I could take the profits, put the gas on the fire. And once I reinvested in my company, it grew like a wildfire. good, the snap of a finger. So that's how I got my first client. These are some of the mistakes I made on my journey. Learn from my mistakes. Don't make mistakes. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, share this with anybody you think could find this helpful. And I will see you guys in the next video.